Hi, my name is Hannah Barnes, and this is the CCR for my group's film called The Hope of It All. My group consisted of my classmates Tori, Melanie, Daniel, and of course our friend Ashley, who took on the role of August. My film is a romantic drama with coming-of-age elements, as it is about the story of a love triangle between three teenagers and the conflicts that arise from it. The main character is Betty, an introverted girl who was cheated on by her now ex-boyfriend James, who had a summer fling with popular cheerleader August. Although it was mainly Daniel who suggested the idea, my group and I came up with this story because last year, a mutual favorite musician of ours, Taylor Swift, released an album that included the themes of cheating, heartbreak, and of a love triangle between two girls and one boy. And to prepare for doing this project, I did some research on film openings of the genres that we included for inspiration. I also viewed some past film opening projects to see how we could fit an introduction to our story within 2 minutes. My film challenges conventions mainly through our casting choices and characters. Although originally we didn't have the intention of making the character of Betty a specific race, with choosing Tori to play her, we were able to introduce a completely different aspect to this movie by challenging stereotypes of minorities, and in Betty's case, the stereotypes of how Black girls and Black teens are typically portrayed in the media. As far too often, we see stories on the silver screen that involve Black teens going through some type of life or death situation instead of being happy and doing normal teen activities. The character of August also challenges conventions because she is supposed to be a popular girl at her school and a cheerleader at that. And throughout popular culture and throughout time, cheerleaders are often portrayed by white, blonde-haired girls, and there's usually the stereotype that they're not very intelligent. On the other hand, August is Hispanic, just as Ashley is, and is very smart and resilient. And although she does represent the stereotype of cheerleaders being mean and egotistical, I think that because the racial aspect of the stereotype is removed, it simply shows that anyone can be a cheerleader. The hope of it all would definitely appeal to a specific group, teenagers, and I think that they would stay and watch the movie because of certain aspects in the opening, such as how the voiceover foreshadows the coming events, as well as talking about past events in Betty's life, and August and James's argument scene at the end of the opening. As this would surely be an independent production, the focus on distribution and marketing would be through the use of social media, which I now know is an essential part in marketing films in the modern age, and posting small clips and trailers of the movie on easily accessible websites such as YouTube. I think a part of the marketing aspect would also consist of creating posters and distributing them. For example, with all the different characters/cast members together in one poster, since in a way it's an ensemble story, or multiple posters with each main character on a different poster. We would also make the cast members do interviews and press tours to promote the film. Honestly, I did learn a lot during the making of this project, including that it takes a lot of time and work to plan this type of production, especially if you want it to be good. I learned that shots need to be planned and that you should probably spend more than one day filming, or at least visit your filming location more than once. Especially because I was the main one filming, I learned how to use different camera angles and shots to my advantage. Luckily, we had already planned out most of the shots and how exactly we were going to film them. I also learned how to find good non-copyrighted music because I've heard about people using them for YouTube videos and similar media so they don't get their content taken down, but I really wasn't sure on where to get the actual music from. I think my favorite part of doing this was the filming because not only was I able to meet up with most of my group members and actually work together with them, but I was really loved to work with a camera in some way as a career one day. Because we all gave each other roles in the making of this film opening, and because Melanie couldn't make it to the on-location filming because of the COVID-19 pandemic, she mainly edited the project while my group members and I went back and forth in communicating what we wanted the final product to look like, in terms of the fonts, transitions, and how the music was going to fit in with the dialogue and sound effects. For example, fading the audio of the clips so that the soundtrack music could be heard more clearly. And speaking of music, the non-copyrighted music we used from a YouTube channel called Audio Library included a dramatic piano song called Reverie by Lahar, featuring Adarsh PV and Token by Fernway, featuring Chloe Sutherland. For software, Melanie used Final Cut Pro to edit, and she used the website DaFont for the fonts for our credits and title sequence. In terms of hardware, we used Tori's Nikon D3200 camera to film and our friend Ashley's iPhone, since Tori's camera died during filming. And of course, I used my Blogger account to post regular, for the most part, updates on how planning, filming, and editing was going on my blog titled Perks of Being a Film Buff. Overall, I'm actually very proud of my group and myself for overcoming the many, many challenges that we faced over the course of this year, and I'd gladly do it with them again.